Hello and welcome back to the Frugal Granny channel. I'm Ali and I'm Frugal Granny. I'm a 65-year-old semi-retiree trying to make the best with what I've got over the next 18 months until I get my state pension at the end of July 2027. I left my office job or my career ladder job last spring, and I've been muddling my way through the remainder of 2025. And here we are now at the beginning of 2026, and as I said in my aims for 2026 video, I'm really hoping that things will settle down a bit this year and that I can simplify my life. Today's Monday, and on Monday I usually do a magazine Monday in which I patch together what I've been cooking during the week or things that I've done. But last week I spent every day either doing contracted hours or overtime hours at the supermarket where I work. I work 21 and 3/4 hours a week minimum at the supermarket to top up my 3 annuities, because my 3 workplace annuities only come to about £400 a month, which is not enough for a semi-retiree to live on unless they start digging into their lump sums, which I particularly do not want to do. Yes, so last week was very busy. There was no cooking really of note. I did roast the big turkey breasts from the jointed turkey, and I put a picture of those on Instagram. I'll pop a picture of those in here too. I had my son and his girlfriend staying, and they both like roast turkey breasts, so we ate that. We've only just finished it. And then I pan-fried the inner turkey breasts, and we had those on another day. So there's only the 2 legs and wings left now, and I'll probably do something with those in future weeks. But I don't want to leave them in the freezer too long because they are taking up a bit of room. But apart from that, I've not really done any cooking. We're still eating up the cheese board. We've still got the Christmas ham. Let me just show you what's in the fridge, and then you'll see why we're not cooking. 1 minute. Well, this is the wondrous fridge freezer that's going to be replaced on Friday. There we go. And I'm just going to show you quickly why it needs replacing. There you are. I think you can see there. I'm just going to point it out. There's a lot of rust there, and I'm not bothered about rust per se, but the condensation draining system is blocked. I cannot get this fridge out of the housing. It's in this sort of housing, if you can see. I can't get it out without too much difficulty. And so a lot of the time the condensation runs down the back of the fridge, it puddles here, it drips down here, it freezes up this, and over the years it has rusted this. Now, it was like this when I moved in, and I moved in July 2016, so it's been like this a good 9.5 years. I have to keep defrosting it. That needs to be chipped off because it's preventing the freezer door from sealing properly. But anyway, it's time for a new one that drains properly, one that's a bit more up to date, and one that's going to last me. So let's just have a quick look what's still in here. Bottom shelf, right, the beefsteak and the mushrooms belong to my middle son, who's with me at the moment, but he has agreed we're going to eat up this rice for tea with some king prawns from the freezer. We've still got some bits of cheese left. Stilton, which obviously nobody likes. There's some Wensleydale with apricots there, which I'm nibbling at. I picked that up accidentally. I thought it was Wensleydale with ginger, so that was a bit of a blow. And there's some red Leicester left, which is going on cheese on toast when my son needs a snack. And we've still got some of the ham left. Okay, that's going into my work sandwiches, and we've been eating spaghetti carbonara. And there's some work sandwiches there that are waiting to go with me later today. And then here there are a few blackberries that were on the yellow label counter. Got those for my son's girlfriend, but she's not eaten those. She's gone back home now. Some manchego cheese that belongs to my son. I'm just going to pop that there. That's my cheese. On the top shelf I've got some custard that was yellow labelled. The date on that's 29th of December. The date on that's 29th of December, but I had some with a banana for my breakfast and it was fine. I've got some yoghurt there, a bit of clotted cream left, 27th of December it says, but I've got 2 scones that need eating up. So there's some homemade strawberry jam there. So that's 2 desserts or 2 afternoon teas. Then I've got this Greek yogurt here that was also a yellow label. It's dated 16th of December. Oh my goodness, you're going to think I'm some sort of food hoarder if I'm keeping things this long. But I tell you, I'm just going to sniff it. It's absolutely fine. It really is fine. So I'm going to be eating that up with my breakfasts this week. I've got some squirty cream left here from Christmas. I don't know what's going to happen to that. We'll just have to wait and see. And then I've got my cheese stocks at the back of the fridge. I've got, I think, 6 blocks of cheese that are good until middle of March, which means they'll probably last me till the beginning of April, depending on who's here and how much they're eating. So yeah, we're going to have the rice this evening with some prawns from there's still some baking potatoes and a red cabbage in the bottom left drawer, and I've got a lettuce. So right, let me just shut that fridge. So that's why there's not much cooking going on, because we've still got a lot of stuff in the fridge there. As I said, we're going to have the rice with some prawns this evening. And the other thing I did say last week that I was going to do was to spend, I think, £50 I'd got left on the January payslip from the supermarket, and I said I was going to do some top-up shopping with that. So I'll just show you what I bought. I haven't actually put that away yet, so that's quite convenient. I can show that to you. 1 minute. Right, so here's the top-up shopping. This is take 2. I got to editing the video and then realised that I'd had it on pause for the whole time I talked you through this. So this is effectively what I got with my £50. On the left, there's 2 packets of toilet rolls that will see me through January. And there was also a kitchen towel roll that's already gone onto the kitchen towel holder. There I got some Fairy Max for greasy washing up. It is expensive, but it's on loyalty card offer at the moment, so I've treated myself. And then I got some Earl Grey tea bags because people needed those at Christmas and I didn't have any. Now they've gone, of course, I've bought them, haven't I? But I will have them for next time people are here. Then some Ribena for my middle son. There were 2 bottles. He's already halfway through the first one. And then I bought 2 more bottles of olive oil because I always think that's a good investment. And if necessary, it can make a good gift. It's a twist on bring a bottle if you have to go anywhere. The carrots were free. There was a big stack of crates in the staff common room the other day, and I brought 2 home. I'm hoping to make some carrot cake muffins, and then I'll peel the rest for snacks or for freezing as batons. Then I've got 3 packets of cream crackers, which are 45p each. They're the supermarket brand crackers, which are so much better value than the branded equivalent. In front of that, 2 packets of crumble mix. I want to try and start eating up the bottled apples and frozen blackberries I've got in stock, and I like fruit crumble for breakfast, so those will be nice over the remaining winter months. Then to the right here, I've got some instant gravy. We ran out of the instant chicken Bisto gravy over Christmas, so I've got 2 supermarket brand versions because I cannot afford the Bisto anymore, and I'm really hoping that the supermarket brand will be okay. A bit nervous about that, but the Bisto was just too much. And again, I've got a beef one as well. Behind it there is actually some Bisto cheese sauce. I don't think the supermarket does their own brand of cheese sauce in a tub. Well, they didn't have any anyway, and we used up what I'd got for the cauliflower cheese at Christmas. Yeah, I know, I should have done it from scratch, but I didn't. So I've bought another tub of that. Behind that, there are 6 packets of pumpkin and oat Ryvita, which were on an offer for £1.20. I think that was loyalty card offer. They're usually £2.50. I think the plain Ryvita are normally £1.50, so they didn't have any of the normal Ryvitas, so I opted for the next cheapest, best version, so to speak. And I do like pumpkin seeds, so I'm hoping those will be nice. And 6 packets will keep me going a good way through the summer, if not all summer. What was I going to say there? Oh yes, these were not in the £50 top-up shop allocation. These were separate. They came in at £7.20 with the offer, and I've taken those out of my week 1 grocery allowance. Then to the right, I bought 4 more packets of coffee. The date on these is now extended. The last lot I bought had October. These are now showing November. So I've bought another 4 packets, so that'll keep me going probably, well into the autumn now, if not right up till next Christmas, so that's fantastic. And then, last but not least, being the pale person that I am, I need to wear mascara, and the brand I use is on 3 for 2 at the moment. I got 3 of those for the price of 2, and obviously the 15% staff payday discount as well. I'm just trying to think what else was on there that I've not told you about. There was the kitchen roll and 2 boxes of ibuprofen. They've already gone into the first aid cupboard. And let me just get the receipt. Yeah, and 2 of the blocks of cheese that were in the fridge were also on here. And a gooseberry fool that was on the yellow label counter. I love gooseberry fools. So for 43p, couldn't argue with that. I bought one for my dessert that evening. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I'll insert this snippet in the original video, and then we'll go back to where we were. And here's the wood. I've got it stacked up in the hall at the moment, and tomorrow when I've got a free day, that will be a job to do. It won't take long. That just needs to go out into the wash house. So here's the receipt for those of you who'd like to see such things. Okay, and there's the breakdown of what I paid there. I'm pretty pleased with the £53.79 savings there, and considering, I'm really pleased with the £53.79 savings. And as I said there, as you can see in the middle, there were 10 bags of logs on there, which would have been £80. I got £17.50 loyalty card offer on there, and then there would have been another 15% saving for staff discounts. So I was really, really pleased about that. Anyway, that's it from me today. It's a bit of a short one. To be honest with you, I'm exhausted after all the hours I put in at the supermarket last week. I'm still trying to get the house reset from Christmas and New Year. And as I said earlier, I'm hoping that that will all be done by the end of the week, especially in relation to the fridge freezer that's behind me. I'm hoping that my middle son will still be here on Thursday and can help me get that fridge freezer out of the housing. We're going to put it on an extension lead so that it can just sit in the middle of the kitchen and still keep things cold and frozen until the new one's delivered. And that will also give me a chance to get into the housing that it's sitting in. It's freestanding. The unit is built round it. It's not an integrated one. And I'm hoping that I can get in there and clean out at least a decade's worth of spiders and dust and goodness knows what before they shove the new one back in. And again, that's probably it. Another decade. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. I'll try and film the shenanigans for you. I think it should be quite interesting. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to sit and quietly edit this. I've got a bit of a headache today. I've still got to go and do 4 hours at the supermarket later on. And then honestly, I just want to rest. And tomorrow it's time to start seriously catching up with some domesticity. I can't take Bella out at the moment. Firstly, we're with minus temperatures here at the moment. It's really cold. There's a lot of salt on the pavements. I don't want her getting cold. I don't want her getting salty feet. I know I could wash her, but okay, maybe I'm just using it as an excuse. Also, the other thing that's happened with Bella this week is that she's come into season. I've been waiting for that since I got her. I thought it had happened sort of late autumn, but I obviously was wrong. She's definitely in season this week. It started on Friday, and I've spoken to the vet this morning, and they've said as soon as she stops bleeding to ring them up, and they'll book the spay operation in for 8 weeks, at least minimum 8 weeks to, well, most 12 weeks after that time. So glad I've got the money put aside for that. I also had to talk to them about Kitty's monthly subscription. The company has not stopped the direct debit, so I've spoken to them about that. They've said they will ring them up and ask them to reimburse me, and I should get that £19.50 back in about 7 days' time. It's really, really annoying, but it's okay. The discretionary spending part of my monthly allowance will accommodate for that in the interim, but that's pretty annoying. The other thing I did late last night was to log on to the Building Society where I keep my fixed term ISA, and I've sent them the maturity instructions. I can't actually request any of the interest until the maturity date has passed. So I'm still thinking about whether to take some money from the interest to help pay for the new fridge freezer. For whoever it was who said I needed to be worried or pay attention to the fact that HMRC would want some of my interest as tax, no, they won't. It's interest from an ISA, and interest from an ISA is tax-free, even if you take it out of the ISA, as far as I can see from what I Googled last night. So I don't need to worry about that. And in the same frame, I keep a track of interest on all of my various accounts every month, and it is not going to go over the limit, that the tax-free limit that I am allowed every year. So I don't need to worry about paying tax on my interest. And I have a very good accountant, and if HMRC decide they want to try and take some of my interest as tax, I'm sure he will discuss that with them and sort it out. So basically I really am in the bright light of my Velux windows in the kitchen today, so you can see how tired and drawn I'm looking. I'm really sorry that I don't smile more for the camera, but I'm exhausted. I'm still trying to cope with the fact that Kitty's died. It was really hard phoning the vet this morning. We've also sat this morning, my middle son and I, and decided that we need to rename Bella. We cannot keep calling her Bella. My ex-husband's dog is also called Bella, so it's all getting very confusing. So we were just thinking that she may become Kitty. She may be the reincarnated Kitty, we don't know. But we can't keep calling Bella Bella. Sometimes I call her Bella Rooney for some reason, so she may just get shortened to Rooney. I don't know. I'm not sure I really like that either. So we'll see what happens, but we do need to find a new name for Bella. Definitely. Well, I think that's about it from me for today. I'm hoping to get some rest this evening once I get back from the supermarket. If this video's up later than 6 p.m, I'm really sorry, but it just means that I ran out of time before I had to go for my shift. And tomorrow I'm hoping to really catch up with resetting the house, and hopefully by Friday lunchtime I can take a deep breath and have an early night, and next week hopefully we will be back to normality or plain sailing. But anyway, thanks for dropping by. It's been really, really lovely to see you, and you know, I'm sorry that this is not as polished and professional as perhaps some of the other Frugal channels you watch, but this is a blog that thrives on the fact that life is messy and real, and I'm afraid my life's a bit messy and real at the moment. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you on Thursday for coffee and catch up, and hopefully if I get a minute we can talk a little bit about my sinking funds, where they stand and what I want to achieve with them over the next 12 months. I need to do that anyway, so to know that I need to talk to you about it will spur me on to get that sorted out. So that's it from me for today, and I'll just give you a quick look at Bella asleep in her bed. I don't know how much longer she's going to be Bella, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Thursday. Bye-bye for now. Poor little Bella. What are we going to call you, Bella? You're my little Rooney or my baby Belle? I don't know. Those are the only two names that we seem to have nicknamed you at the moment, is little Rooney and baby Belle. And baby Bear's a bit much too. I don't know what we're going to do. But you're so pretty and you're so beautiful now. You've put on weight, you're shiny and soft and black, and everything's moving in the right direction, and we love you very, very much. Don't we? We love you very much.